All right, so here we are at the first video podcast of the Shuttlecock Podcast on YouTube and iTunes. We're here with Kansas City rappers Zarin Micheal and Aaron Alexander. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man.
I'm cool, man. How about you?
I'm pretty good, considering just how much effort went into setting this up over the past hour. So I'm thankful that you guys were able to sit it out, and it's very, very nice of you guys to do that.
Of course, bro. You the homie.
Drive all the way out to the suburbs. Do you guys spend any time at all out in Johnson County?
Oh, nah.
No?
Not at all, bro. I don't know that many Johnson County people at all.
Yeah. So both of you guys have been doing a lot of recording lately. Zarin, you're dropping a new single coming up pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Is that going to be I Don't Know?
Nah, actually, I got a new single I'm preparing right now. Basically, what we about to do is for this week coming up, I'm about to remix and remaster my previous EP, the FU EP. We remixing and remastering that, and we're gonna release that first, and then I'll have another single coming up shortly called No Challenge.
And the FU EP came out back like in the middle of last year.
Yeah.
So how did that EP just really come about?
Like the first time?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I've been trying to plan for this project called Center of Attention for a while now, SOA, and it just hasn't came together completely how I wanted to yet. So I had a lot of songs ready for that, but what I did one day, I was just like, I don't feel I'm in the mindset to release an album quite yet. So with that being said, one day I woke up and I was at my boy Sheik house. We just woke up, and one day I felt like that I just needed to release. Like, I feel like that God spoke to me that night, and I woke up and he told me to release this as an EP. Literally, it was no plan or nothing. We did a surprise drop, just randomly dropped it, and that's just what it was.
And so the re-release that you're about to put out of it is going to be just kind of like an updated, like retooled version of the original?
Yeah, basically re-recorded, remixed, remastered, and we just chose our favorite songs off the joint and what we feel as the best songs, the highest quality type songs, and we just put them together for y'all.
What were some of the tracks you picked out from the EP to re-release?
It'll be Madman, Blackface, and Best Friend. Best Friend wasn't on the original EP, but that was one of my favorite songs, and I feel like that had a lot of major success, so I decided to just throw it on there.
Yeah, I remember that was kind of the first single you dropped. I think you kind of cleared your SoundCloud and everything, and that was like the only song you had out for a sec, and you had performed that at the Maxo Cream and G-Watch show in Lawrence last year, and that was one of your first performances in a while, too.
That was one of my first shows. I appreciate that. Shout out G for that opportunity.
And so you have been performing at a lot of other shows recently, too. You got on Montana 300, and you were on the Lil Uzi show in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
So is your stage performance something you've really been working on, too?
Yeah, something that I really want to perfect. I still feel like I got a lot of work to do, but it's something that I really take pride in performing, I like to give the people a good show, a great show, actually. So, yeah, that's something we still working on, but I'm trying to get all the music perfect first because I'm a perfectionist. I'm trying to get everything situated on that end, and then we're going to be straight.
And, Aaron, you kind of have a similar situation with some of your music, too. You released your mixtape, Radiant Child, back in 2015?
It's 2014, I think.
2014.
Yeah.
And then you just re-released tracks from it as, what was it? Radiant Reloaded?
Radiant Redone.
And so you did kind of a similar process as Zarin's doing right now.
Yeah.
What led you to want to fix up those songs?
Well, honestly, Radiant Child is just trash. So I was like, hey, we ain't putting nothing out in a minute. We have an album in the works. They're gonna forget about me. This is before I don't know. This is before I came to the realization that nobody actually really cares about release dates because we're local acts. You know what I mean? But yeah, I was like, we got to put something out. So B, my producer, was like, yo, I'm gonna just remix and remaster everything. Let's just throw it on SoundCloud. And yeah, it was, I don't know. I wish I had a crazy story behind it, but I don't. It was just we just did it to put something out.
Yeah. But you have released 2 new singles so far from your upcoming tape, Memento Mori.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Storm, which premiered on Shuttlecock, and then you had Sometimes, which was after that. What do you think sounds different about these new songs compared to the work that you could hear on Radiant Redone?
As far as like the thing, as far as my upcoming project, Memento Mori and Radiant Redone, I feel like the biggest like difference is I approached rap or art in general as a spectator with Radiant Child and Radiant Redone. So I was basically just recanting another person's life. Whereas with Memento Mori, I'm taking my life and I'm making art with it instead of just reproducing art. So this is just, I don't know, it makes me I don't know, I feel like Storm just sounds like something in my head or whatever. And sometimes it's just telling my story. So this is me telling my story and not Basquiat's. No.
And so both of you guys are on Fearless, which is a new Kansas City label. How did you guys first end up meeting up and deciding that you would be working together like that?
As far as we had a show. We did a show together. And I clicked up with them just to, go back a little bit. I am, it's definitely a partnership here, but I'm Ignorant Art. That's something that I came up with. Me and B and Eric came up with in the basement, so that's not going to get, swept under the rug or nothing. But it's definitely a partnership that developed from, 2 groups of individuals that, just want to make good music. And kind of, I feel like the hip-hop scene in Kansas City, I'm from Kansas, so Kansas City, Kansas, and KC there's no culture. It's not cultured. It's just everybody it's whatever. So we want to establish that culture. That's my goal, at least. So,
Zarin, what do you think what has the relationship between your guys' work been like so far? Have you guys been collaborating on music, or is it just the fact that you're going to be putting it out under the same name?
Well, soon enough, we'll be collaborating on music, but as of right now, we just focusing on us as individuals and trying to build our brands. Each he's focusing on Memento Mori and such like that, and I got stuff that want to put in works. But basically, as far as Fearless, we basically just a brotherhood, man. Like you said, it's really not no culture within the city, and we trying to provide that. We're trying to provide the best music. We're really trying to do the best business. We're trying to do all that because that factor is not there. And when we got together, we knew what we could bring to the table as far as our artistic abilities and who we work with, like our other brothers, and what they bring to the table business wise. Everybody has a different vision, and the way we collaborate, we're trying to create something that's special, something historic within the city.
And so hopefully, that'll be taking place once you guys put out your upcoming projects. You'll be able to garner a little bit more attention. But I guess just to catch up, anyone who isn't quite familiar with your guys' work, Aaron, like I said, you put out your Radiant Child tape back in 2014, and you've re-released some of that music, and you're working towards another tape that you're putting out this year. But I do want to mention, I think it's still kind of funny just the way that I found your music in the first place. Do you remember how that happened?
I don't 100% remember how that happened. Can you refresh me?
Yes. I'm not even a guy who uses Reddit. Maybe I thought I was back a few years ago, but you had posted your single Charlie Parker on either was it the Kansas Heads. On Hip Hop Heads, and like I must have just like searched Kansas City on our Hip Hop Heads or just saw it pop up when I happened to be on there. So I like, and before, like, I really didn't have much experience or knowledge with Kansas City hip hop up until that point, but I had just started the Shuttlecock website, and I was like, hey, I can branch out into hip hop now. I enjoy Aaron's music, so you were the first like written interview that I did on the website, so I just think that's still a funny just way that I became into your music. So
that's the universe, bro. Like, I don't know, like you said you don't frequent Reddit like that.
No.
So yeah, it was the universe. You were supposed to listen to me. We were supposed to click up.
Yeah, and I'm sure it would have happened at some point. But
no, it would have happened at some point. I'm sure of it. But the timing, I feel like that I can only attribute that to just the universe, just making that happen.
And then you ended up playing the first Shuttlecock showcase at Mills Record Company.
Of course, I love Mills. Shout out to Mills.
Yeah, and that was a really fun time. We had all the shows have like rock bands and rappers and all sorts of folks on them, and yeah, that was a really exciting night for myself at least, and I hope everyone else who was there had a good time. And that was one of your first solo shows, I think?
Yeah, it was my first solo set ever. So it was definitely tight. I enjoyed it. It was nerve-wracking, but it happened, and I left my keys on the whole set. I left my keys around my neck the whole set. So, yeah, I don't know. I just cringe every time I think about it. But
yeah, and I remember like Brandon and Eric were just like kind of sitting off to the side of the stage, just like at the laptop, just getting each song ready to go, even though there was like no DJ mixer or anything. And still most of the hip hop acts that I have like just plug straight into the PA there. So I think that's kind of a fun little quirk about doing these record store shows.
Yeah, most definitely.
But you've also, Zarin's been on several kind of like theater shows and bills at this point, but you've also started picking up some of your live shows. Like you opened, Zarin was going to open for Rich the Kid, and you ended up on that show, and I'm guessing, I think that's your biggest show so far, right?
Yeah, that's most definitely my biggest show so far. It was fun. It's hard to find a crowd that I'm not getting put on shows that are like for the type of music that I make. So a lot of times it's pretty awkward. I don't know, just a rapper. Yeah. So people shouldn't expect a Rich the Kid feature on the Memento Mori. There's no way there's gonna be a Rich the Kid feature on.
Not even like Famous Dex or.
I could get Cuz to do some ad-libs or something.
Yeah, because I know Kai has. Well, Kai opened that show with that Dex played in like the National Guard Armory in Kansas City, and G was on that too, and then G ended up getting kind of upset at the crowd for like
I heard about that.
Not being into him, and like that was just by the fact like he's a great performer, but that was just by the fact that the music didn't line up, which I kind of guess explains your shows so far too, at least some of them.
People feel me though.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can kind of look out in the crowd. You're not gonna get the same reaction if you're a guy who does lyrics, or like if you're not doing, and not even to like throw some of the mumble rappers under the bus or anything. But if you're not like doing lyrics, if you're not focusing on like getting the crowd hype, you kind of just have to look at their reactions and see if they're actually listening to you, because a lot of the times they're not going to react the same way to a Aaron Alexander as they will to a Lil Pump. You know what I mean? It's going to be completely different. So you just got to gauge it. You got to gauge it in a different way. And
so we're all going to be at the Lil Pump show in Lawrence tomorrow.
Flex like,
if you want to, if anyone wants to meet up, I'm sure this will be posted after that. But hopefully you will have seen me, Aaron, and Zarin and Ghost hanging out at that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. looking forward to it. No, but yeah, people always seem like you at least get a really good response on Charlie Parker. I've noticed, like, whenever you're playing in like any type of environment, like you can usually kind of muster up a good crowd response on that one.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun to watch when that happens.
Man, and if I don't, I just act like I am, because you can't. I don't know. I feel like people can tell when you're not into it. You know what I mean? So you just got to perform.
Yeah. And like, you obviously were a little kind of timid in your earlier shows. Like, you wouldn't really talk much in between your songs, and there wasn't a lot of space to move around. So it also has been cool watching your live show progress like that too.
I appreciate it.
So yeah, Zarin, can you tell us more about the new tracks that you're going to be dropping soon?
Oh, basically, you did mention IDK, so that's still going to be in the works. Mm-hmm. I performed that actually at my last show, the G Herbo show that I just recently did, and they got a good crowd reaction. I really enjoyed that song, and a lot of people on the team really enjoyed that song, so that song will probably be coming out soon also. Like I said, I got another single called No Challenge that I just written recently, and I really enjoyed that, so hopefully it comes together how I picture it in my head, and then we're going to drop that. And then, like I said, the EP coming this week, the remix, remaster, the reloaded joint. And then I'm just going to keep working, man. Basically, I mean, the album, that's going to get worked on soon, but don't expect that soon. I'm just a kid trying to make good music. That's all I want to do right now, and just push the culture forward.
Mm. And that'll probably, I'm guessing, Center of Attention will be a 2018 release.
Probably like a 2025 or something. Yeah, but I mean, just whenever the vision come together. I mean, like, right now, because me and Alexander Preston, that's my main producer, we had a discussion the other night, and we got another, like, it's just the way that our brains work, especially for myself. Like, I could come up with like 3 different albums at one time, and sometimes I get bored really quickly. So I can start making songs for one project, and then I'll like want to start doing something totally different, just because that's just how my visions is. Yeah. So I just gotta. Basically, over this time, I've been trying to like mature myself and just gain patience and stick with one thing at a time. That's basically what the issue is. That's why I delete a lot of my music and different things like that. But I'm really right now I'm in a different space as far as my head and my music. So.
And yeah, it's funny. I did an interview with Kai Colors the other day for an article that's coming out in the pitch, and he had mentioned to me that he's thinking about his like eventual debut album, and he has all these like ideas for it. And he says it's called Roy G. Biv, because Kai Colors. But he says like, yeah, that one's coming out in 2020. I'm like, wow, you have a good idea of what that's going to be like. So, and I don't know, would you guys kind of probably attribute that kind of just thought process to the fact that rap is just like really like marketable right now, and just like if you don't do it right, like if you don't release things correctly, if you do release things like correctly, like there's a better chance that you'll be able to have like a big successful career?
That's hard for me to answer because I don't have that mindset whatsoever.
Yeah.
The music is all that matters to me. Like, if the music's not tight, then nobody's gonna like you. That's just simple mathematics. You got to make good music first, and if it takes you a long time to make good music, cool. Take as much time as you need to. As far as release dates, we're local acts.
Yeah, we
are local acts. Nobody cares. I can say my album's coming out 2-3 weeks from now. Yeah. It's not, but nobody cares. If I announce what I'm dropping a day or two before I drop it, it's fresh in people's mind. They're gonna see it. They're more likely to click on it, I think. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the whole marketability thing really applies yet for us local acts. You know what I mean? Like, marketability it's a byproduct of good music. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to like talk on because I don't really share that mindset.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess it might be just kind of like a sign that someone isn't really dedicated to their art if they're like, okay, I'm gonna throw all my effort into this, and if it doesn't work out, like by the date that I plan, I'll just move on to something else. So I guess, yeah, in the case of people who take their art really seriously, just the way and the time that you release it at doesn't matter a whole lot in the beginning. So yeah, that makes sense to me. So what would you say you guys are really just looking forward to about like the eventual process of getting your new music out? Like, are you looking most forward to like the chance of touring, or just the fact that more people will be hearing your music? Or
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not even, as far as touring, like that's, down the line type things. Mm-hmm. But right now I'm just trying to build the name for myself as what I know I am, which is one of the best rappers breathing. I mean, that's a lot to say from the standpoint of 18 years old, but if I don't say it, who will, So that's basically all. I want to be the best. Like this like hip hop is like rap music is just different now, as far as, because we got different people that came in the genre and have evolved it, basically. So it's really not no competition or anything like that. But what I want people to see me as a competitor, a rapper, and I want to continue, like I said earlier, to continue to push the culture forward and keep evolving with my sound and just get better every day.
Mm. And I remember reading, like, in the Kansas City Star feature that Aaron Randall wrote about you. Like, he did all those mini features, and then he did the freestyle videos. That, like, what really stuck out to me was, like, your passion for, like 90s hip hop and just kind of like the giants of the genre. And I don't know, I think that just, like, you don't see a lot of young rappers who are doing like a really like kind of modern style, like paying much reverence to. Yeah. Like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z is really big for you.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite artists of all time. If not, that probably is my favorite rapper of all time. Mm. Just a simple fact. Like, you read in all the articles. My mom, that's it's drilled in my head. It can't leave. Like, I've listened to every single Jay-Z album. I know him word for word, and that's just what I know. It's basically it's the same as comparison to, like, if I want to compare it to basketball, right? So people say Jordan's the greatest, but I grew up watching LeBron James, so in my mind, that's who I'm gonna say is the greatest. No matter what people can argue, that's what I know. That's what I see. I don't know nothing else. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been taught. That's what I've been force fed. So basically, when I look at the giants and people like that, that's what I want to compete with. I think legacy. I know, like I said, I'm still young, 18. I know a lot of people feel the same way about me, as far as I put a lot of pressure on myself, but I don't care, Like, I mean, if I say I want to be, this is my lifestyle. Like, this is my life. Rap is my life. So if you don't put everything into this, then, because this is what I feel my purpose is. Mm-hmm. Without this, I don't. At least for right now, I don't know what I would be doing.
Yeah, but you are in school right now too. Where does that kind of weigh in on So you're saying rap is like one of the biggest parts of your life, and that's what you see yourself doing. Where does school come into the equation for you?
As far as school, to be completely honest with you, I go to school to help me like learn extra life skills. Mm. I mean, of course, school is for classes and degrees and stuff like that. But as like I said, I know what I want to do with my life, Yeah. I feel that school is I'm never downplaying school, because school is a big part in a lot of people's lives and in my life too. But I feel like school, as far as, what they teach and things like that, is for like occupations like doctors, lawyers, things like that, those big time careers. Mm-hmm. And if I know I want to be a rapper for the rest of my life, or at least, till I'm done and washed or something, but then why, Mm-hmm. Like, I go to school because, it's free too for me. So a lot of people don't get that opportunity. I'm really blessed, as far as I know what I want to do, and I get plan B, basically. So that's why.
What kind of classes are you taking that like help you with those life skills?
Yeah. Well, yeah, as far as like I take a lot of business classes. So a lot. I'm not gonna lie and say they don't help me because a lot of the business classes I have took, or the business class I did take, because I'm just a freshman, so I didn't take a lot. But the business class I did take, as far as like it helps me like apply it to my music, because music isn't just music; it's a business also. And if you're not good with the business, you will fail. So it helps me a lot as far as the music business. I learned a lot of different marketing strategies from class that I apply to my brand and my lifestyle and stuff like that. So,
where does school fall for you, Aaron?
Honestly, I haven't checked my grades in 3 semesters. I'm so serious. Yeah. Like I don't know how well I'm doing in school. Yeah. So that kind of just tells you where I'm at with it. I don't care about school whatsoever. I like making music also. School is just something that, like, you know, if music doesn't work out, if music doesn't shake, then I'll just fall back on my psych degree. But as far as school, I don't care about it. It's a great thing. I think all the kids should go to school. I think everybody. Well, it's a lie, but I think you know, school is definitely an option for people, but there are other ways, and don't let it mess up your dream, more or less. So school is not a thing for me, dog. Is
psychology something that you really were interested at some point?
Oh yeah, I'm interested in psychology. I don't care about the grade attached to what I'm learning. You know what I mean? I definitely like learning about things, learning about new things. But as far as, you know, being graded, being tested, being the top of my class, I don't care about none of that. I just, you know, it's information. Any information is good information.
What kind of areas of psychology, like, is there anything in specific that really grabs you?
As far as like psychology goes, I'd probably say the thing that interested me the most, there were two classes. There was social psychology and cognitive psychology. And I don't know, it was definitely interesting to see kind of how there are like implicit biases and things like that, like throughout society, that certain people have because of the way they were brought up. You know what I mean? It was definitely interesting learning things about people when they get in groups, because I'm kind of a people watcher. You know, I don't really socialize that much with my peers. And cognitive, just seeing how the mind works, is just a cool thing, I guess. So yeah, those would be the two for me.
And even if you don't end up in any type of career like that, it's got to add a little bit more like entertainment to just like people watching wherever you go. Like if you're just like out at a party or a show or something, and like you can kind of like analyze people. I can imagine that be like at least a little interesting.
Most definitely. Well, I don't really get out the house much, so like
at a restaurant or something.
Yeah, I'll go out like regular people stuff, but as far as like partying and things like that, I don't do it much. I probably should, because I do think that would be like really interesting to like see people in that kind of habitat. But like, I don't know, it's not. I don't know. It's cool. Psych is cool. I don't know. It's a bunch of information.
It's funny, you're like just gonna be at a party, just like analyzing everything. You're just gonna be like, oh, let's see how these folks are behaving over here. It'd be interesting to watch.
It's a source of material. It gives you something to write about. So
and people be like, what's that guy over there looking at?
He's weird. He's a weirdo. I get that a lot, but it's whatever.
So is there any, like, there was kind of I don't want to say a raging discussion about like modern hip hop happening before we started recording.
You're gonna get this on the
yeah.
On the
I just wanted to just a little
cool.
touch of it on the podcast. But what is a lot of the stuff that you guys do end up listening to, or even like stuff coming? Is there anything coming out now that just really inspires you in any form?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Sonder, have you heard of Sonder?
I haven't.
Sonder's dope. They're an R&B collective. I don't know where they're based, but they're really dope. Sonder's dope. They just put out a video. It's hard. It's called Too Fast. You guys should check it out.
What do they do that you like?
They modernize 90s R&B.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. Like they modernize an old form of R&B. It sounds like 90s R&B, like John B and like, you know, that vein of like R&B. But it sounds new. It's refreshing. And they're the lead guy is his name is Brent Fayez. He has a project called I don't remember the name of the project, but it's a dope project. It's an EP. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I've really been listening. That and Frank. I'm a huge Frank fan, huge Kanye fan.
Stan.
Yeah, I guess I'm a stan. I just respect good music.
Yeah, I remember like the first time you had me over to listen to some music, like there was just an insane amount of like Kanye discourse happening between you and Brandon, I think.
Yeah, that's why I work with them, because they know what's up. You know what I mean? You know, they know what's up. So
with all this R&B that you're listening to, so do you see that kind of starting to like drip into the music that you've been working on lately? Like, because Radiant Child and all those songs are just kind of like standard hip-hop, like a standard hip-hop style, but do you like, is some of your newer stuff kind of inspired by this newer take on R&B?
Well, not really. Memento Mori, all the writing for Memento Mori was done 2 years ago. So this album has, like, my part of the album has been done 2 years ago. The writing, all the stories and stuff that we put together, it's been done. So this R&B thing is relatively new. I haven't really been into it. I was into like rap and stuff more so back in Radiant Child days. But like as far as this goes, I just feel like, you know, there's definitely a lot more melody in Memento Mori, but it wasn't because of, you know, who I'm listening to now. Yeah. It's more so because like I feel like with Memento Mori, it's more so to kind of convey feelings, and I think melodies and harmonies and things do that a lot better than rap does.
So people might expect that to, like, those influences to show up on like music even after the new project comes out, if it does at all.
No, it comes out. It's gonna come out. This is definitely coming out.
No. I mean, if you do end up with any R&B influence in the future, it won't be on Memento Mori.
Nah. Yeah. Memento Mori's, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't want to put a label on it because that's for the people to do. But it is definitely I think I came into my own on Memento Mori. This feels like my debut.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Zarin, do you find yourself listening to a lot of Frank or just any of the stuff that Aaron has been into lately?
Not really. I mean, I listen to like I've never listened to any of, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I've never listened to any of Frank's old music. So the only Frank I know is the Frank music that he's been putting out recently.
Yeah, like Blonde.
Yeah. So I've never listened to anything old. I'm gonna give it a chance though. You know, I like good music. He supports them, and I know for sure that he's a good artist. You know, It's just I really don't listen to music that much unless it's myself. I mean, I don't want that to be like, you know, weird to say. I listen to like myself, like I said. I listen to A.D. Don't know that, but I listen to A.D. music. I listen to his music and I listen to Kendrick new album. Like I listen to stuff that inspires me, but it's like a different type of inspiration because it's simple fact that, like I said, I'm a competitor, so I support, you know, everything my brother do. I'll support every other, you know, rapper that's rapping right now, but eventually I still want to be that guy. So that's what inspired. That pushes me to new levels. It makes me go and get better. Like, but I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's just, you know, that's just where my heart is. Like I need that. I need for me to work harder than everybody else. Even when nobody's looking, I need to work hard, you know? I just, eventually I want to be top tier.
Do you end up with any of like I think some of your friends have been listening to like a lot of like tough like 90s New York rap lately, like you mentioned like Big Pun and all that stuff.
I listened to Big Pun, one of his albums, like like a month ago. Like I dip and dab in different sounds just to, because it's stuff that I never heard before. Like I said, as far as East Coast 90s and early 2000s, it's been all Jay-Z for me. So I've been trying to get out of my comfort zone and listen to more stuff because it's a lot of more stuff out there and that I could listen to and try to incorporate into some stuff that I do.
So like to chime in and say Big Pun is one of the most underrated lyricists of all time.
That album I listen to.
So yeah, I'm gonna just leave that there. And
So you say you want to kind of delve into like learning about different genres that you haven't really experienced yet. Is that gonna like include like death metal?
When I was younger, I listened to rock a lot.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite, because my cousin put me on it. Like I came up. That's why I started doing music with my older cousin. He's like 8 years older than me. And I just earlier in schools I would like just rap like at lunch, do freestyles and stuff, and people just be like, "Bro, you should make music." So I was like, and that really wasn't for me at first, but I was like, I love music, and I'm good at it, so let me attempt it. And my first few songs were what I really want to do, so I kept sticking to that. But as far as hold on, what was the question again?
You were talking about how you listen to rock music before.
Oh yeah, so I listened to one of my favorite bands was I don't know if you know this band, but Bullet for My Valentine. I listen to them a lot. Axe Wound. I listen to a lot of different. I enjoy rock music.
So you could have like if you were of age, you could have like been checking out Rockfest at some point.
Yeah,
like I really hanging out with all the rednecks out there.
At that time, I really like that's. I don't even at that time. I don't even think I was listening to. Like I took a break from rap and just was listening to straight Bullet for My Valentine. Like I really enjoyed those albums.
It is really funny kind of to just like track all of these like really strange like rock obsessions that some like kind of like poppin' rappers right now are like really into, like like Lil Peep. I don't know if you guys have listened to him.
I've heard of Lil Peep.
But he samples all of these like crazy like 2000s emo records on his songs, and like Lil Uzi's obsessed with like Marilyn Manson and like Gigi Allen and all that. So that is kind of a strange element. And I was talking. I don't know if you guys have met Marty from Ebony Tusks.
I love Marty. Marty's the homie.
Marty's awesome.
Shout out to Marty.
And he made this comparison to me probably last year. He was talking to me, and he's like, yeah, I think Lil Uzi is the new My Chemical Romance. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But like ever since then, I've noticed all of these similarities. Like, he just has like this cult fan base, and his music has become like steadily more like kind of like emotional and like kind of depressing at times. Like EXO Tour Life is just like,
if you listen to the lyrics, it's literally about like death and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a great song, one of my favorite songs by him. But that's because when you make music that evokes emotion, it tends to cater to people more. Because especially with melodies in it too, people like to sing along. Even if they don't know what they listening to, they're gonna sing to it. So it's like kind of like subliminal. Rappers like that really are putting like subliminal messages in there, because like Future, like a lot of his content is about like stuff that he's been through, but people really not listening for that. They just listen to like the trap beats and just and just the melodies.
Yeah.
But if you really look into it, they like these rappers are putting like subliminal. They're crying out for help type shit. And stuff
if you listen to like Mask Off or Hallucinating or just like any of these.
Feds did it sweet.
Yeah, bro.
Come on, bro. Like, cause it's like, man, all my homies getting locked up. They not dying. I just ain't seen them in years because they getting locked up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, feds are really sweeping houses out here. Like, for real, for real. Future. That I like Future. I'll give you guys Future all day. Okay, I'll give you guys Future all day. Future is the truth. But as far as the other, other people, I'm just can't.
He like EXO Tour Life though.
Yeah. I do like EXO Tour Life. EXO Tour Life is an amazing song.
Do you think if Uzi keeps on making like songs in a similar vein, you could become a fan at some point?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not, if I think an artist is not tight, but they get tight, I'm not like so blinded by my own like hubris where I'm like, oh no, never, I'll never listen to that. Because I heard EXO Tour Life. I actually like, after, I want to say, what was the one he did with the Scott Pilgrim versus the World-esque cover?
Lil Uzi versus the world.
Yeah. After that one, I was like, it's not for me. I think I heard EXO Tour Life on accident.
Yeah.
It was like, I want to say I seen it on like Twitter or something.
Like you left your house for 5 seconds and you heard it.
I heard it on
outside.
accident. Yeah, I'm like, oh
like,
man,
it's everywhere.
I'm like, what's that? And I looked up All My Friends Are Dead.
Yeah.
On like Google. I Googled that, and that was the first thing that popped up. So I listened to it. I'm like, this is Uzi? What? This is hard. So I did my research. I'm like, oh, okay, he linked up with TM88. They, wrote the song together. If he takes that lane and gets away from the, what he does, like on a normal basis, because I listened to the rest of the project, and but that is a standout track, and Uzi, that's a good Uzi song. If he does that for the rest of his career, then he has a fan.
I'm glad we can all agree on Future, though, because there's just no denying there that he is just an impeccable artist.
Yeah. Future is a legend. He came up under Dungeon Family. He's a legend for a reason. So, I mean, Dungeon Family produced Outkast. They produced CeeLo. They produced... Future's the best to ever do trap.
What is the Dungeon Family? Like, is that just like a... I'm not even familiar with that.
Dungeon Family is basically... In Atlanta, there was a house where, like, all the legends... I don't know if, like, all the legends are just cool with each other in Atlanta or what, but there was this house. They go to it. They sleep there. They eat there. They live there pretty much. It was they had a studio in the basement. They called it the Dungeon. And so Future came up under Outkast. He came up under... I watched a really interesting, like, piece on Future where it was like, man, he came up around so many greats that did things so differently. All he could do was mumble. You know what I mean? Like all he could really do is just carve out that lane. He's the first, I'd say Future's the first ever mumble rapper, but he transcended that. You know what I mean? He didn't stop at mumble rap.
Yeah.
He transcended it. He put stories into it. He made it sound good. A lot of people aren't doing that, but I think a lot of people haven't been able to be around Andre 3000, CeeLo Green, Big Boy, the whole like Goody Mob. Nobody's able to be around those people to get those, to make you even want to do new ideas and things like that.
Has he had like songs with any of those guys?
No,
like he just like hung out around them and recorded similar places and everything.
Like a lot of them, they definitely all like Goody Mob, Outkast, and them. They worked with each other. CeeLo worked with Outkast, but if you're looking at a Future. And you're looking at... they don't strike me as people who do collaborations just to collaborate. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he hasn't done a song with any of them that I can name.
How crazy would Future and Andre 3000
That would be hard. If we could get an Andre 3000 and a Future song, if we could get that on this earth while I'm here, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah, and in addition to, I guess, this Dungeon Family influence, Future... if I'm not mistaken, was like one of, like after Waka, but like still like under he was hanging out with Gucci for a long time too, and they definitely have records to get, like they have like a couple like mixtapes or EPs together too. So yeah, he's just like, I guess he has really just learned from the best, but still managed to like carve out his own thing.
Yeah, most definitely, and like I think like. For me, the reason I stopped listening to rap because I don't know, I haven't been impressed lately by anything, and I think that's more so because of me more than the music. Mm-hmm. I am also competitive. I don't really rap to be better than everybody else because I think that's easily attainable. I rap to be better than my best self. You know, I put out Radiant Child. I want to be better than Radiant Child. I'm going to put out Memento Mori. I want to be better than Memento Mori. I think Memento Mori, if you play Memento Mori with the things that are coming out now, it sounds just as good, if not better, than what these people with $1 million budgets are putting out. So I'm not worried about them. But like, as far as like soaking up game and influence, that's really important to me. I'm trying to delve into different parts of music that I ignored. I listen to I don't know. I wonder if you know who this person. There's a song called Freddie Teardrop. Have you ever heard it?
I'm not sure. I'd have to know who it was by.
I can't remember who it was by, but it's by this like. It's hard for me to say it's rock because it's never heard anything like it in my life. Because it's just like he's telling a story. It's a storytelling rock. Like the instrumentation is just really submerged and like. It sounds like it's underwater almost, and Cuz is talking about how he killed himself because he wasn't able to make enough money to support his family, and it's just a crazy song. You should look up Freddie Teardrop.
Yeah, do you want to look up that right now and tell us who it's by? The song called
Freddie Teardrop. Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's called Freddie Teardrop.
Yeah, I'm interested in knowing that.
Yeah, it's just it's a very weird song, but I'm just. Really, Blonded Radio has actually helped me discover a lot of artists that I would have never listened to in my life, and it's like it's making it's diversifying my music taste, and I'm taking bits and pieces from different parts.
And OVO Sound is also a pretty influential.
Yeah, they're real eclectic too. I was actually like really surprised at how eclectic like their selection is because like you think Drake, you hear Drake, you think. Canadian, that whole sound. Yep. You know what I mean? You know what the Drake sound is. Yeah. But like the music they choose is actually like really eclectic. It's like it's weird. And I've also been listening to a lot of Lauryn Hill because she's the greatest. Like she's top 3 greatest. Whatever she is. Yeah. She's an artist. She's just an artist. She's top 3. Period. Like there's nobody. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, or R&B, whatever you want to call it. Lauryn Hill, it's one of the greatest albums ever. Period. So like, it's definitely important to soak up those influences, and that's why Future is where he is. Yeah. So I try to do the same. Just I'm not lucky enough to be in direct contact with these people. So
and seeing Lauryn Hill like a handful of years ago at the Uptown was really crazy for me. Like, and I didn't even like just know the magnitude of her like influence, and like I knew she was an amazing artist, but like every so often I'll learn something new about her or just like a similar artist. And just like gain that much more appreciation. Like if I could see like Erykah Badu at some point too, she's on like I would say a pretty similar level. So
yeah. Have you seen D'Angelo?
Yeah, I did.
You caught the D'Angelo?
Yeah, you were there too.
That was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life.
Too. Yeah, like that's definitely like top 5, top 10 for me. Crazy. And I've seen like just too many shows in the past several years. But just going back on like streaming sites and the like Blonded Radio and OVO Sound, like is that something like do you guys appeal like are those platforms really appealing to you guys, or where do you see your guys' music going like just platform wise if you can do everything that you plan to?
Oh, you can go first.
Yeah. What streaming services and like radios like that, they help a lot of artists that don't get a lot of play. I listen to some of this London artist music that Frank Ocean put on Blonded Radio, and I enjoyed it. Those artists like that basically they care about the community, they care about the music, and because it's a lot of great artists that we don't get to listen to every day. So they're with things like that, they're giving us a chance, to hear different sounds and different influences and stuff like that.
Well, as far as the streaming services, if I could, like, I feel like I can probably get on, like, Memento Mori, I don't know. You'd have to hear the album for me to, like, I can't pigeonhole it into one thing because it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't all sound the same. It sounds different, but it's tied together with the glue of the story. You know what I mean? So, like, as far as like a streaming service that I see myself getting on, or a playlist or a online radio station, I should say, I can't really put myself in one of those. I feel like I have a song for any radio station because I did different styles of music and I did them all well. So, like, I don't know. It's definitely going to be interesting because I do see it coming. So, you know.
And do you think you guys' upcoming projects will be like on Spotify and Apple Music, iTunes, and all that stuff, or do you see yourself waiting off and just putting it like on like mixtape sites or SoundCloud?
No mixtape site is getting my music.
Yeah.
SoundCloud is definitely an option. I'm never going to leave SoundCloud. SoundCloud is one of people slander SoundCloud, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, there's the whole SoundCloud rapper term.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That
like
people use negatively.
The same people that were SoundCloud rappers are the same people you guys are people are bigging up. The same people dissing SoundCloud rappers are listening to these rappers who came up off of SoundCloud. Yeah. Chance is a SoundCloud rapper, essentially. He came up off of SoundCloud. Uzi is a SoundCloud rapper. You know what I mean? They all started on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is one of the greatest platforms for a upcoming artist. So I don't think I'll ever leave SoundCloud. Like, if I can, I'd like everything I drop to be free because like it's hard for me to like, I feel like my work is priceless. You know what I mean? I don't want to attach a price to my music. You know what I mean? But I definitely I feel like if people like your music enough, they'll come to see you live. Yeah. They'll buy your merch.
It's kind of the Chance the Rapper route.
Yeah, like I think I watched Chance come up. Like I watched Chance from 10 Day. Like I was in high school and I was on Chance when he had like I want to say 1,500 followers on Twitter, 2,000 tops. You know what I mean? And nobody knew about Chance whatsoever.
Might have to fact check that.
Nah, for real. That's why he follows me. Like he's seen me. You know, he's seen me because I was one of the only like
Chance
people.
Follow you on
Twitter? On Twitter.
For real?
Yes.
Oh, that's dope.
I was one of the first people on Chance, especially in the city for sure. And what he has done is just really inspirational for me because I watched it from ground up. I watched him like put in 10 Day on Twitter. Yeah. You know, check out my SoundCloud link. He's doing the same thing I've seen many other people do. I don't use that route per se. Yeah. But like, I mean, I use the route, but I don't spam. I don't spam people. That's not cool.
Did you see him open for Gambino back in Kansas City?
I didn't. I didn't go to that show because my friends were trying to get me to go to that show. They were like, "Hey, you should go." I wasn't really big on because of internet like that until like later on.
No, that was like the camp tour though.
That was a camp tour?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't even think I liked camp that much. Like I think man, did I like camp? Was camp cool?
Yeah, that's some good tracks.
What songs did it have on it?
Bonfire, You See Me, Kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's probably why I didn't go because I can't even name like songs off of that thing. But I did see him when he went to after Acid Rap came out. I seen him when he was in Lawrence, and that was a pretty good performance.
Zarin, would you say that you're like inspired at all by Chance the Rapper's like kind of come up and business model?
Definitely. Yep. But me and Double A different.
Yeah,
I got to get that bag.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as if I feel like this is something I want to do for the rest of my life, you know. Of course, building a following, they're gonna buy your merch and different things. But if you really have true supporters, they're gonna do anything for you, you know. So yeah, I need that bag.
So you're kind of what forms of, you know, payment do you see yourself going after at some point? Like, are you interested in like signing deals with like, you know, Apple Music or like Spotify or whatever?
Well, it's just it's a lot of politics to that, so I don't want to really get into it like too crazy. But down the road, I'll see whatever the best opportunity presents, and I wanna be on hands on with everything. So if I can't be hands on with everything, then those opportunities I won't take. But whichever's the best opportunity for me to control my life and control my music forever, I'll take.
Spoken like a true like business major in college, taking all those classes. Or would that be your major, like business? Or yeah. Okay. So I think we'll be wrapping up here in a second. Do you have any, just final words or shout outs, like stuff that people need to look out for from each of you coming up in the next, for the rest of the year?
I feel like, I feel like I definitely have an album coming out this summer. Can't say when. I feel like the surprise has to experience. So there are things coming. I can't shout them out though.
Okay, look out for those things.
Yeah, look out for those things.
Zarin, what's up with you?
As far as projects, I don't want to give everything away yet. Everything's still in the wraps. But I mean, as far as single, have you heard IDK?
Yeah.
So
that the other day.
That'll come. I'm working on some new music, some new singles. I feel like I really enjoy IDK. I feel like people will really enjoy that. So because it's a different side of me. As far as it's not, I mean, I'll rap on it, but I like to do melodies and stuff too. So
yeah, and I think people kind of heard that a little bit on your other single. I might. Yeah, that's one of my favorites that you've put out so far, and I was kind of like, it does have like a good amount of plays on SoundCloud, but I was a little disappointed that it didn't get any more attention than it did.
Yeah,
but
politics.
Yes, but hopefully IDK will kind of grab that light for you. So yeah, you have these new singles coming out, and the re-released version of the FU EP, and that'll be sometime this summer also.
That's gonna be soon.
Yeah, just a week or two probably. Yeah. Okay, so I guess everyone can be looking out for all that. Where can people follow you guys?
You can follow me on Twitter at ignite_A. Also SoundCloud, just type in Aaron Alexander. I'll come up. I'm like in green. I don't know.
Spell ignite.
Yeah, I my bad. IGNANT. I think ignite. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, you can just follow me Twitter. I got Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud. I think I got a Facebook page too. Zarin Micheal, Zarin Micheal, but it's just EAL instead of AEL.
Yeah, people get that messed up sometimes.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking.
Been a problem on flyers,
articles. I don't get it because like we tell them, but they just
like you explicitly type out like make sure it's
EA. Literally, and they still get it wrong. But one day I'll be big enough for nobody get my name wrong.
I don't know. People on Twitter like consistently mess things up.
Yeah.
So
I
don't know.
Twitter's tight though. Like I don't know. Actually, just if you could you edit out everything I said about following me on a place? Just follow me on SoundCloud, and all of the links are in the they're there.
Okay. Well, people can continue listening and gain that knowledge from you
for sure.
And yeah, I think that'll wrap things up. I appreciate you guys coming out to do the interview together.
Appreciate you, man, having us here.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Of course.